Is the fishing industry doomed? How does the Elite Series decide who to cut? When did the rattle trap come out?
We're going to talk about Lucky Charms. I am not talking about the cereal. Not bad. I want one hopper for Gussie.
15 anglers face the cut. Private equity threatens to strip the soul of fishing. A duck decoy becomes a secret weapon. And under stadium lights, a Bassmaster champ steps onto the mound. Will it be glory or embarrassment?
I'm Jordan Babcock, joined by Dave Rush. This is the Best on Tour Breakdown.
The behind the scenes briefing on the buzz, banter, basing business of the best fishing. It's the Best on Tour Breakdown.
I'm Jordan Babcock, joined by Dave Rush. This is the Best on Tour Breakdown. Dave, what's the bonus segment going to be about today?
Today's bonus segment is all about Lucky Charms. We're not talking about the cereal, talking about something anglers carry in their boat that they believe truly brings them luck when they are on the water. Hey, Jordan, what's the buzz about this week?
All right, so let me show you this comment we got on our Instagram, Dave. Let me pull this up. It's from Nate Casarella. He says, get someone on to break down what needs to happen in order for this angler to stay on tour or this angler to head back to the opens. It's super confusing to us with all the rules for who stays and who goes. We got several comments like that. A lot of people don't fully understand the rules. So we made this graphic. You might have seen it on our Instagram. We made a carousel to make it super simple. I spent 40 minutes on the phone with our source at Bassmaster to try to distill this into the simplest terms possible. So let me roll through it really quick. The simple version of who stays and who gets cut on the Bassmaster Elite Series is finish in the top 70 in AOY points and you stay. It's that simple. That's the golden rule. If you fall below 70, you're in danger of being cut. How many get cut? So it starts at 11 each year. The reason is 10 come from the EQs and 1 comes from Bass Nation. That's 11 that are going to get cut and then get their spots replaced by these 11. Plus any anglers over 100 in the field. You might be wondering what the heck does that mean? So for example, this year the Elites have 104 for various reasons. So we're going to do the math. We're going to do 11, the base cuts, plus 4 extra over 100. We have 15 that are going to get cut in 2025. Hopefully that's simple enough. Next, how the cut works. We take anglers ranked from 71st through last in those AOY points. Top 70 were safe. 71st through last are now going to be ranked by their career AOY average. And we're going to take the bottom, whatever the cut number is, which we already determined is 15. We're going to take the bottom 15, and they're going to be cut. That's the simple version. Dave, there's all kinds of exceptions and caveats. I mean, we can talk about those, but one quick one is Kyle Patrick. He had a medical exemption. So that's one example. Other examples could be...
So everybody moves up one spot, basically.
Everyone will move up one spot in this unique circumstance. Other examples could be, will they allow any legends exemptions this year? Who knows? So that's kind of the quick and simple version of how the elite cut works.
Yeah, that's interesting. A lot of questions circulating around going into the final season event there at La Crosse of who was going to go, who was going to stay, who was safe, who was not. Bassmaster did a great job of breaking that down during the coverage. Like I always say, I always wait until the final list comes out from Bassmaster of who is actually going to fish in 2026. A lot of things can happen between now and then, but as far as understanding it, this is a great breakdown to give the general public a better understanding of whether their favorite angler will be back in the Elite Series in 2026 or not, and how it got there. All right, Jordan, there has been a lot of banter about this on social media. Former Bassmaster Classic champion Jeff Gussie Gustafson throwing out a pitch, first pitch, at the Milwaukee Brewers Major League Baseball game.
Yeah, check this out. And this was in the middle of their big win streak. So here's the graphic we have on our Instagram. Let me see if I have the video pulled up here. So let's see what you think about this, Dave. Here's the walkout.
I had probably warmed up a little bit in the bullpen. He looks pretty confident, man. I like it.
So far, so good.
I have not seen the actual first pitch, so is he going to skip it? Is it right down the middle? Is he going to airmail it? What's he going to do? Not bad. I want one hopper for Gussie.
It wasn't bad. It could have been worse.
We've definitely seen worse with celebrity first pitches, but of interesting note, Gussie is not the only professional angler to throw out the first pitch for the Milwaukee Brewers this year. Bass Pro Tour professional Justin Cooper also graced the mound. There he is. Oh, we got a video of him too.
Let's see if he did any better.
Oh, let's do a little comparison.
I mean, he's jogging out there. He's a little bit more excited.
Yeah, he looks maybe a little less nervous or maybe more nervous, depending on how you're judging it.
That was a laser.
Oh man, Coop with the laser. Gussie might need to step your game up on the first pitches there. But super cool, honor anytime you get to throw out the first pitch at a baseball game, much less a major league baseball game. Milwaukee Brewers getting a little involved with professional bass fishing. I like it.
Yeah, let me read you a couple comments from this. So Gussie said, I was all ready to walk up there and give it a full send. And when I hit the mound, something came over me, and I just kind of lobbed it in there.
Hey, like I said, I've seen worse, man. I mean, I think we would all be nervous in that situation. Look at that crowd. I mean, a little bigger than an Elite Series crowd or a Bass Pro Tour weigh-in crowd, I would assume. Don't know the exact numbers, but it looks, that particular frame there looks like it was pretty packed for Cooper.
Yeah, especially during that win streak. I mean, there was probably a lot of people there. And another good comment that we had here is actually from Justin. He said you kind of black out when you get up there. So it sounds like they both kind of were a little bit nervous, which is understandable. I'm sure I would be too.
Yeah. Yeah, both of them did a great job. Kudos to those guys for getting the job done on that. But I seem to remember a very famous fishing personality and Bassmaster MC throwing out a first pitch in a very interesting way.
You seem to remember correctly. Let me, in an interesting way is right. Let's see if
15
I can pull
years
this one
ago,
up.
man. I'm dating myself on this one. 15 years ago.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh, man,
Very
that's so funny.
nice. Two great casts by Mercer, a vintage Dave Mercer, I might add, in the Subway jersey. And he did it true Canadian style. Toronto Blue Jays baseball representing Canada. Did not go south of the border to throw out or cast out his first pitch. So
Yes, he
pretty
claims,
cool there. And in case you were wondering or needed the information, the Milwaukee Brewers are in first place in the National League Central with the highest winning percentage in the National League. So those guys are on quite the run. And from what I hear, a lot of Major League Baseball players like to fish. All right, Jordan, we are going to jump into one of my favorite subjects, which is baits. Looks like you got a pretty cool picture pulled up there. What's this all about?
Yeah, check this out. This is a Match the Hatch photo from the Bill Lewis Fishing Facebook page that I saw that I thought looked really nice. I feel like a lot of times these Match the Hatch photos are questionable. But this looks really legit. Like, it really does look exactly like that piece of bait next to it. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I can't tell if that's a quarter ounce or half ounce trap there, but it looks like it's matching pretty good to that threadfin, man. OG trap, as the hashtag says. It's hard to beat a Bill Lewis rattle trap. Got a couple classics here. I'm a big rattle trap guy. Have been, for a long time. A little OG color action here. Not sure if they make that one anymore or not, but it's a pretty good one. It's one that has seen some action, caught some fish. A little quarter ounce black and gold, little tannic water action.
Is that a red hook on the front?
That is a little red hook, man. A little Kamagatsu red hook to the front. Not sure if it makes a difference to the fish, but it certainly, gives me a little bit more confidence there. But rattle trap, of course, one of the original ones. I know it was definitely not the first original, rattling lipless style bait. Going to go through a couple of the OGs that I think, people may have forgotten about. This guy right here.
What is that?
This is a Headin' Bayou Boogie. So, sorry to you guys that are trying to keep this old dude a secret. This is what we call the original one knocker. Listen to this.
That sounds cool.
So, the one knock versus OG trap versus semi-OG trap quarter ounce. See, all of them have a little different sound, right?
Yeah, a lot
little
different.
different sound. So, another OG bait, one of the original Cordell rattling spots. So, this guy has also seen some action. Might have dredged up a few, but listen to this guy.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that one's a lot
So
different too.
totally different OG trap. So a lot of differences in rattling baits, but tried and true, proven. Another cool one that I broke out. I've never thrown this one. More of a collector's deal for me. This is an old Bagley's bait. Okay,
Oh,
so
nice.
this guy right here, balsa bait, rattle trap type shape, zero rattle whatsoever. So there's some versions of silent traps and things out throughout the years. Spro, Aruku shads, whatever you want to throw. Silent versions. There's some out there, but this guy right here, Bagley's balsa trap. So just a few of the cool ones I have in the collection, but tried and true, man. You can't go wrong. Tie on a rattle trap, lipless bait. You're going to catch fish all over the country. All right, Jordan, let's get down to business. Today we are focused on a feature article in Fishing Tackle Retailer by our friend and president of AFCO, Mr. Casey Shedd, where he talks about private equity investment in fishing. Is private equity going to ruin the fishing industry?
It's a good question. I mean, you hate to even hear a question like that asked, right? I mean, I kind of teased at the top of the show, is the fishing industry doomed? I mean, obviously that's a little bit of hyperbole, but Casey does have some pretty striking comparisons that he makes between the surfing industry that he grew up in and the fishing industry of today. Let me just read a couple quotes to you really quick. He says, "The outdoor boom brought private equity capital, but it could strip our soul too." And then the big quote here that he has highlighted for a good reason: "The surf industry that once defined youth and counterculture became the paper pushers they initially sprung up to rebel against." I mean, that's a pretty brutal quote, to be honest. I mean, you would hate to see the fishing industry lose its soul, right? I mean, that's kind of the whole point of this. And something else I want to point out, I'll link this whole thing in the show notes because I want people to read this full thing. Obviously, we're not going to read the whole thing on the show, but Casey does a great job making comparisons between the surfing industry and fishing industry. And then two, something that I like that he ties in at the end here is about AFCO, how, they're a family-owned business. They have been for 70 years. And they're not going to sell it to private equity capital with it being such a long time family-owned business. Dave, I don't know if you had any more thoughts on this before we wrap this part up.
It's a very serious subject, Jordan. Anybody who has followed the fishing industry on the backside, on the business side of things, knows that over the past several years, there have been huge investments from private equity groups, brands being bought up and consolidated. And, I feel like we are at a point of influx, where it could go either way. There's advantages to it, like Casey points out. There are disadvantages to it. I think the biggest thing that we can do is kind of make sure that it's managed properly, talked about, people understand what's going on, who owns which brands, and other than that, there's not much we can do about it. Brands are going to do what they want to do with their money and with their products, and consumers are going to put their money where their mouth is. They're either going to support private equity invested, bigger brands, or they're going to get behind the mom and pops, or there's going to be a nice balance. And, I think we need all of that to make the fishing industry successful. All right, Jordan, it is time for a little best on tour breakdown bonus action. Today, we're going to talk about Lucky Charms. I am not talking about the cereal. I am talking about items that anglers carry in their boats that they believe brings them a little bit of extra luck. And one thing that we came across that we thought was super cool was something that Kyle Welcher found.
Yeah, let me pull this up. So this is on the Sunline YouTube channel. I came across this. Let me just show it to you really quick and we'll talk about it.
Actually gave me a little piece of Japanese magic, a little ornament. I've got it in the boat right here. It's called a victory fish, and they told me that it will help me win a tournament. So I've had it in the boat ever since, and then we got our first Elite Series win here on the Pasca Tank. So pretty cool.
That is really cool. What are your thoughts on Lucky Charms? It seems like this one worked well for Kyle.
That is super cool, man. And just to give a little bit more backstory on that, Kyle Welcher, John Cruz, Matt Pangrack from Bass Talk Live, Mike Volster from Sunline headed over to Japan, made the pilgrimage to the Sunline Japan factory. Those guys gifted Kyle that item that he was just speaking about. And man, I mean, can you really dispute it? The guy comes back. He just absolutely slaughters them on the Pasca Tank. He is on the cusp of his second NPFL Angler of the Year title. And man, I would say the Lucky Charm from Japan is working out masterfully.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, can't argue with the results like that. Do you got any other Lucky Charm examples for us?
You know, a lot of talk about superstitions. I don't even want to think about that, man. It's going to throw me off my game on this podcast. But yeah, I mean, one of the coolest ones I have actually seen numerous times is buckshot. So buckshot is Dean Rojas's duck decoy that he found actually on Lake Toho during the event where he set the 5-fish 45-2 record. You see the picture there, a vintage old school Dino. Buckshot rides in the battery compartment of every tour boat that Rojas runs. So this year when he was running his Blazer on the 2025 Bass Pro Tour, Buckshot was with him, and Buckshot will be there next year. So pretty cool Lucky Charm there for Rojas as well. Buckshot beat up, but still surviving there, as you can see.
If you want more behind-the-scenes bass fishing info in your inbox every week, sign up for the Best on Tour newsletter. That's our free newsletter. Just go to bestontour.net or scan this QR code. Sign up. You'll get it once a week completely free. That's pretty much it for right now. If you liked this episode, please subscribe to the channel. Drop a like if you liked it. Drop a dislike if you didn't like it. Leave a comment. Leave a suggestion. If you have a question like Nate did, maybe you'll appear in a future episode where we answer your question on the show. That's pretty much it for this week. I appreciate it, Dave. See you next time.
Yeah, see you, Jordan.
Thanks for watching or listening. See you on the next one. The best